it's on.
All right,
yeah.
cool.
So I think it's safe to say that you just saved Moonrise Festival.
I don't know if I saved it, but I definitely did my best. Yeah, to keep it rolling, definitely.
So thank you, of course, for being with us. The man needs no introduction. This is none other than Flux Pavilion, live from Moonrise Festival.
It is, all right.
So I'd say it's safe to say you've been a pretty busy guy over the past many years. So how is the Around the World in 80 Raves tour treating you so far?
Pretty good. We're on show, I think today will be show like 63. We started in March. So yeah, we've pretty much been touring for about 6 months at this stage. And yeah, it's been great. With no real signs of slowing down. I mean, I need to write some music the rest of this year, but yeah, we've still got the rest of the world to captivate. So yeah, full steam ahead basically. It's probably going to be around the world in about 150 raves, I reckon, by the time we're done with it. Yeah, maybe. I think I was thinking about it. I think I have done over 1,000 shows now as an artist. I kind of worked it out. Just closing in on 1,000 or just above, around that time. I sort of.
Black for it?
I don't know if there's any official thing, but yeah, it's been quite a lot of traveling around. Yeah, playing loads of music and sort of expressing like Flux Pavilion as a sound. So Around the World in 80 Raves is kind of like a culmination of that, and just making sure we go everywhere and make this music heard, because I think there's quite a lot of people, quite a lot of communities that don't really get to hear the music just because everyone's touring America all the time, basically. So like everyone's coming here or everyone's going around Europe, and a few odd people would go through places like South Africa and India, and like when I've been out there playing shows, it's just like the energy's insane. The people love the music, they connect with it on a level that I never expected to go somewhere that feels so far removed. Like India feels quite far removed for me from England. Just kind of like feels like a really foreign kind of land. But going there and playing the music, it's just the same. Like the connection between the music and the people is something that's really beautiful. And the tour's kind of about that. It's about not shying away from it and giving me a perfect excuse to go everywhere and experience everywhere and share the music in all the places I possibly can, because I think it's important.
So with all those people that haven't been touched yet, what's the next big thing in EDM, do you think?
I don't know, really. Kind of don't care as well, I guess. It's sort of like I write my own music, I kind of do my own thing, and I like to watch and enjoy what's kind of going on in the rest of the scene, but I'd never really let it dictate what I want to do, because
you wouldn't change your own style.
Nah, it feels really pointless if I was to just try and follow exactly what's going on. There's no way that I'm going to discover something new in my own music if I'm constantly trying to find out what everyone else is doing. So in terms of what the next trend's going to be or what's going to be popping, then I think as an artist it shouldn't be of much interest to me. As a fan of the music, it's of interest to me, but as Flux Pavilion, I think I do try to stay in my own little world, basically.
Yeah. So kind of following along with that, so even with EDM being as new as it is, relatively, it seems there's a huge amount of people still rushing to enter the industry. Do you think the EDM stage is getting too crowded, or is there still room for young talent to move in?
There's always room for good music. I think it doesn't really matter if a scene's overcrowded or undercrowded. I think good music rules the roost in my eyes, and all it takes is someone to come out with some good songs and they're on top of the game. I mean, look at someone like Snake. He's kind of like, he's been around for a while doing his thing, but he like catapulted to the top, and my personal belief isn't because he played the game or knew the industry, is he wrote some really great music. Like, you listen to the era of what Snake's been writing, he's been writing some really amazing music, and there he is at the top. And I think that's how the game should be played, and that's how I always kind of view it. It's just like, let everyone kind of scramble around trying to...
So the secret is the quality of the music?
Yeah, it shouldn't be a secret. Like, writing good music shouldn't be an industry secret. I think it should be the relative norm for what an artist is going for, essentially.
Yeah.
But as everyone, there's the idea that everyone's trying to like get involved in EDM and try and get a slice of it. It's sort of, that scramble doesn't really interest me. I think good music is going to dominate that, as long as you keep it real, basically.
What would you say is the most pivotal point in your personal career?
Probably getting sampled by Jay-Z and Kanye West. It's a pretty extreme, like, pivotal moment.
Your catapult up?
Not necessarily. Like, things were going really well anyway. Like, I Can't Stop was already kind of doing its thing. I think for me personally, it helped to like solidify what I was doing. It kind of made me feel like what I was doing was actually real, and not because when I was a kid sitting in my bedroom at university writing some songs kind of thing, and part of the dubstep world there's always kind of stuff going on, and it's sort of like you're always looking at the stars being like, oh, I need a record deal, I need a big studio, I need all this marketing to be that big. But then with none of that at all, my music made it to their ears and they liked it and they used it, and I didn't make any steps towards trying to make that happen. I wasn't blogging the fuck out of myself. I wasn't on Instagram every single day. All I did was write some songs and put them out, and they connected with people. Yeah. And so it gave me an affirmation that I didn't need to chase all of the dreams that I was kind of told and led to believe that this is how you're meant to be a star or meant to be an artist. It's like literally, you could just have some thoughts and write them down, and you're an artist. Like, you don't need anything else other than just making the stuff that you want to make, basically.
So when you started off, you were pretty much a pioneer of the sound that you've built. But I mean, today, if you're starting off, there's a lot of dubstep artists you can listen to.
Yeah.
So when you started off, like, who were you listening to? What inspired you in that way?
Well, just kind of what was happening in dubstep. Like Casper and Rusko were like the leading guys, really.
Yeah.
So my music was, I was trying to write Rusko music, and I didn't really know how. So I was like inspired by the sounds, but I had no real, like, no one was giving me the sounds. Like these days, you can get all sample packs, and you're like, oh, if I want this sound, you can kind of download someone's sound now. But yeah, back when I started, there wasn't really any of that. So it's like, if you want to like sound like someone, you got to try and learn how they do it. And with people like Rusko, he's such an original artist. There's no way to just kind of like maybe now with a whole bunch of like new tech, but there was for me no way to go, oh, if I press that button, I've made a great song. So through the process of trying to discover how to make dubstep that I really enjoyed to listen to, I ended up discovering my own sound because I didn't know how to do anything else. So I just sort of invented my own way of doing it, basically. And then, yeah, no one really liked it for many years. And then after a while, people were just like, oh, wow, this is great. And I'd been making it for years. Like, I had many years where I was just putting this stuff out and people were like, this isn't good. This isn't really dubstep. We don't really understand it. So I'd play shows and still always play my sound and do my thing. And it kind of like, it took a few years for it to just kind of connect. And at that point, I was solidified with the sound that I was really enjoying writing. So I stopped trying to sound like everyone else because I was like, oh, I can use chords basically to sort of do the job. And yeah, there was no instant moment where I put a song out and everyone was like, oh, he's invented something new. I just kind of did it. And then over a number of years, I kept doing it to a standard that became my sound. And then now when you look back at it, it's like, oh, it's kind of like a moment where I sort of like I was doing something new. But at the time, it didn't feel like that. There was no like getting up in the morning like, I'm an innovator. I don't think you can innovate. I think you can be yourself. I think everyone's individual and everyone's capable of doing something interesting for the world, but you got to let yourself be yourself to find that new thing. And I think to other people, that's innovation, because when you're yourself, everyone else is like, how are you doing that? And you're like, I don't know, I'm just fucking being myself, basically. So it seems like innovation, but I think it's just being true to what you want to create, I guess.
So if you could tell yourself something like 10 years ago,
yeah,
what would you tell yourself?
Probably to trust myself, really, with everything that I'm saying. Yeah, like with everything that I'm saying, it's kind of come through the process of everyone listens to people. I think it's important to have people around you that you trust and you listen to. But I feel like part of growing up is starting to trust your own thoughts more. You know, that moment where your parents all of a sudden don't have all the idea. They don't have all the answers. You're like, hang on a second. I think my parents are wrong and I think I'm right. That switch, like that keeps happening as you grow up, and I think as an artist it's the same. You listen to everyone, you're like, oh, everyone surely knows better than me. As you get older, you're like, you know what, I am myself. I need to make my own decisions and put your balls on the line to do what you want to do, basically. But that's a whole learning curve anyway. So I think I don't think I'd tell myself anything really to drastically change my life. Well, I wouldn't have got here, and I'm happy being here. So it's kind of like, I'm pretty stoked really.
On a more fun note, what's the craziest thing you've seen being on stage? Or if it's tied, you can tell us too.
I don't know really. I don't really like lots of quite intense stuff happens all the time, but it's also caught up in the moment. It doesn't seem strange at the time. I remember there was a show where a guy in a wheelchair did a crowd surf basically. Then pushed him over. So I was like, oh, that's pretty unique. I did another show about 2 or 3 months later where three guys in wheelchairs were crowd surfing at the same time, and I was like, oh right, that's 3 times as unique. It's interesting, and it's kind of things just sort of happen. I need you to see it. You're like, oh, I've never seen that before. Crack on with what you're doing, basically.
Attention to the crowd while you're performing and in the zone.
I try to create a space where anything's possible, really. I mean, with my music and with my set and the whole kind of world of Flux Pavilion is about sort of losing touch of reality and just sort of soaking up whatever the music is giving you, I guess. So I kind of like, get in a state like that myself when I'm being Flux Pavilion. So kind of when something odd happens, it's like, cool, this is happening now. And then it's kind of like, nothing really strikes me as crazy. So I can never really answer that question because, it's all crazy and none of it's crazy at the same time.
Awesome. So on October 13th, you're doing a show in the UK.
Yeah.
A live show.
Yeah.
What should we be expecting from that?
Well, it's actually the 3rd one that I've done. But we did one at SW4 last year. And it's pretty much I always wanted to see how I can creatively, musically expand on the Flux Pavilion live experience, I guess. Like, as a DJ, you can't really improvise. You can say, oh, I'm going to play this song now, and I'm going to play this song, but you can't creatively improvise within songs. A song's a song, it's on your memory stick and it's played. You can't do anything with that. So I wanted to create a platform where I could mess around with all the parts inside of a song and see if I can create something new or discover something new within a song by performing it live, essentially. So we're trying to capture exactly what a Flux Pavilion set feels like, but with me and the other guys give us the capability to expand on it and fuck around with it, basically. So it's sort of,
fun.
It's good, and it works quite nicely, definitely.
How would you say the crowds compare playing in United States shows versus United Kingdom shows?
There's no plur in the UK. I don't think so. I haven't really come across it. There's like the whole kind of like candy rave culture over here. I feel like it was something that happened in the 90s in the UK. Okay. So I feel like as an artist from the UK touring over here, it feels like experiencing what the 90s might have been like in the UK, essentially. Because it's sort of like America's discovered. I think rave music's been happening around here, but it's just sort of blown up. And I think that's kind of what happened in the UK, like in the 90s, late 90s, like dance music had existed, but then all of a sudden it just sort of blew up. And the experience of that, I think that's kind of what's happening here now. But I never, experienced it then, so I'm kind of, definitely enjoying it. Yeah, it's nice. Cool?
That's all I have. You good?
Okay.
Yeah.
So you played at Moonrise last year too.
Yeah.
What made you decide to come back?
It's just a good festival.
What was that?
It's a good festival. There's no, the guys, Steves, who run it, I've been doing shows with and for them since I started. I think it was the second show I ever played in America was in Baltimore, and that was the Starscape Festival, and that was when it was me. I think it was like me, Excision, That's Sick, Dr. P, Skrillex. I think Noisia were there. There's like so many more people. Like everyone was there. Borgor, like all at the same stage. So I was playing my set, and all of those guys were behind me, and it's kind of like, yeah. But it wasn't even the lineup really. There was like a few of us playing, but everyone was just sort of there hanging out because this.
A few years ago now, huh?
Yeah, that was about 7 years ago. Like this hadn't happened at that point, so it's kind of like, yeah, thinking back to that day, that was a day when it's sort of like, yeah, I remember that show. I remember Baltimore and Steez who put it on. It's just like a really pivotal moment for this music because it's like this is happening now. All of us there playing the show. It's like biggest show I'd ever played in my entire life. It's like this is a real thing that's kind of happening. So it's good. Yeah. So Steez, the people that run this, yeah, definitely part of the framework of bass music for sure.
So I think final question.
Yeah.
What should we be expecting from Circus Records in the near future?
A selection of music, I guess. Yeah, more music. We've got a bunch of people that we signed. We just had a release from Wooly. There's more stuff coming from him. It's a guy called Kramack who just put out a track called Arrival, which is, yeah, it's like one of my favourite tracks at the moment. And yeah, without getting the schedule up, but we pretty much have spent the past kind of a couple of years sort of distilling what Circus is all about. And I feel like over the past 6 months or year or so, we've kind of just like, it's all clicked. And it's like, yes, we kind of know what we're doing and we know what we want to achieve and like where we're going. So our schedule is just filling up, and there's just like so much great stuff happening. But yeah, it feels like Circus now, the idea of Circus feels like it did when we first started it. Like this exciting platform that we've created where artists can be free to sort of express their own sound. Like when everything blew up, Circus, we didn't really know where we fit in kind of what was happening, but we sort of like, between me and the guys and like like an awesome team that we've got, I feel like we've sort of everything sort of clicked together and it's feeling really good at the moment. All right, I'm going to get a drink.
Okay.
Is my plan.
Thank you so much.